Okay, so chain rule, you're going to take the derivative of the outside function, so f prime of g of x times what? G prime of x. Okay. Product rule, f times g prime plus g times f prime. Okay. Quotient rule, and like even if as I'm saying these, I'm thinking, oh gosh, if I gave you guys quotient rule derivative, I don't think half the class, I don't think a third of the class would get it right now. So we're, yeah, low D high, so G of X times F prime. Yeah. And then, let's see, low D high minus high D low all over low squared. We'll watch Liam's music video again for that. Okay, derivative of sine, cosine, derivative of cosine, negative sine, which we would have all gotten right until we started integrating, and then we start messing the signs up because we can't remember which one's which. Tangent, secant squared x, good. All right. Secant, secant x, tangent x. And something like that, again, if it's the only thing you forget, you can probably still make a 5. Like, there's not going to be so many problems that you can't make a 5 without that. But I bet you there's a decent chance you'll see it. Like, it's, you know, it's not critical, but it's probably not. Probably not. I'd definitely say not more than 2 there. So, like, again, if it's the only thing you've forgotten, you can still make a 5. Because out of the 108 points, usually that 5 level is somewhere in the 70s. Like, if they deem it an easier test, it might be, like, up 77, 78. Oh, has that been published? I have to go look it up. I'm not certain. I'm not certain because they have published that one, but I don't know if they published the cut scores with it. There's only like certain ones where they've released the whole test, multiple choice and free response, where they'll tell you what the cut scores were on it. But they did release that one. I just don't know if they released cut scores with it, so I'll have to go back and look. Well, it actually wasn't the test that, like, there's always, like, an American version and an international version. Probably more than one international version. I'm not sure how many versions they have, but the one they released is not the version that we took. Now, the one, like the free response questions that get released every year, that is usually the main U.S. administration version. So I have never had a class not get that version. It's possible because, like, just for, like, I guess, consistency purposes, they may choose our class to take a different version than the main U.S. version. And you would have comparable problems, but not the ones that get released. But I've never had a class that got that. Yeah, they should be same difficulty, same weight. They won't be the exact same questions at all, and it won't be like, like sometimes I may give you a question and I might go back and change the numbers. It won't be like that. There'll be different questions, but so hopefully we will get the regular. The only reason I really care, hopefully we will get the regular version because they release it. So that means 2 days after the test, they release the questions. And I always eagerly await that time whenever they release the questions. I always sit down and try to take it myself like I'm taking the test. And then we can go over it and you can kind of see how you feel like you did on that part. But if you don't get that version, then we can still do it, but it won't be the questions you had. So, scores don't come out until mid-July because people actually have to grade the free response part. Sometimes I think they get sent to the college. It definitely won't be before it. Sometimes I do think they give it to you a little earlier than that date you can see it because colleges let you know. But it will still be probably end of June or July. Because I know, I do AP grading for calculus, and the last day of grading's the 17th, and usually they have to push that a day or two more because they've got some that didn't get graded, and you can keep grading. Yes, some colleges will let you know, or I guess you might can see through that portal, but you'll have to log in and check your score. So if you don't ever I don't know if they send you an email or not, but yeah, but you'll have to log in and check your score. Yeah, so you'll have to log in and check your scores, but it's usually July 5th, 6th, 7th, something like that. I haven't checked the schedule for this year, but so cosecant. Negative cosecant x cotangent x. Cotangent is negative cosecant squared x. If you don't know tangent or secant, you're probably going to miss a problem. If you don't know cosecant or cotangent, you might not miss any problems. You might. They could put it on there, but it's not a very common problem. This is how bad these are. I think that it'll be on there. It's not going to be many questions. This is how bad these are, though. I'm pulling out my book just to make sure I've got them right. Not that they're not that hard. We just don't spend a ton of focus on it. So, for sine, you've got u prime over the square root of 1 minus u squared. Cosine is negative u prime over the square root of 1 minus u squared. Tangent is u prime over 1 plus u squared. Secant's one, I don't know that I've ever seen a problem that involved this on anything released, but technically it could be there. U squared minus 1. Arc. Yes. Arc cosecant is the negative of this. And then, well, I'll give you a second, make sure you got those before I scroll up to get the cotangent. Cotangent's the negative of arctangent. There. Good thing about these are that they do come in pairs. There's just a positive and a negative of each one. Sine and cosine go together. Tangent and cotangent go together. Secant and cosecant go together. So if you memorize one, you can get the others. And we'll try to make sure that we go back and do a problem or two like this. Not a ton because it's not going to be on there heavily. But, you know, we'll go back and look at it. And then cotangent is negative u prime over 1 plus u squared. Okay, what's the derivative of the natural log of u? 1 over u. And I'm going to put a du here with it. So if u is, like if it's just x, natural log of x is 1 over x. But if it's natural log of x squared, it's going to be 1 over x squared times 2x. So it's kind of got that chain rule included there. Now, we did some of these, but we did very few of them. There's usually like one that's on here. So, again, this is not essential, but it could be helpful. We got, for log base b of u, you are going to get 1 over u natural log of b times d. Or I could be calling that u prime, either one there. And then, what is the derivative of e to the u? E to the u with a du there. Or u prime. Du and u prime could be used, either one. There. And then if it has a base other than e, so like if you have an a, it's still going to be a to the u times the u, but you have to multiply it by the natural log of a. So if you have a base different than e, which doesn't happen very often but does happen, you have to multiply it by the natural log of that base, which kind of happens both here and here. All right, so we're going to stop here.